I'm Shimon, and for the last few months, beginning April of 2021, I've been learning Blender on my own, using only a few tutorials and online courses. Now it's time to look at the results and show you that you too can achieve something like this really easily. When I opened Blender for the first time, I felt overwhelmed and scared. And it's a pretty natural reaction to seeing all those different menus, buttons, ladders and numbers. There's no way I was learning all of that on my own, and I really discourage you from doing that yourself, if you plan something like that. Instead, I've decided to give some tutorials a shot. And I've landed on this one, that taught me how to make this lovely, pretty realistic microphone and Eevee. After that was finished, I've started to feel a bit more confident in my Blender abilities, and so I've gone to the channel of our one and only Guru to make this classic 2.9 donut with some coffee. I haven't bothered making the animation, because I was never really interested in. My goal in 3D art was always to make the best static images that I could show my friends or hang on the wall. And with that, the tutorial phase was done, and I ventured into the wild, dangerous world of making my own models. So, you see, my first render were, to say it lightly, a bit rough. For some reason, I was deathly afraid of using real textures, so instead I chose this weird, cartoon-like style that you can currently see. I've made a few of them, experimenting and seeing how much I can push my own technical limits. And I was improving, slowly but surely. And 1 month in, I had made this one little render. I had marked a special point in my journey. I was finally getting comfortable. My ideas were expanding, and I was allowing myself to do more and more. I was watching lots of specialized tutorials, because, finally, I was beginning to understand what I didn't know at the time. And that skyrocketed my progress, because the key to learning effectively in Blender is asking the right questions and getting the right answers. How to set this exact type of lamp? How to make this texture? How to improve the type of model? When you start typing phrases like this into YouTube, it will be the time when you improve the most. And then, around 3 months in, I've effectively learned all the basic and intermediate stuff there was to know. I call this segment simply having fun. It's the time when all the hours you've spent watching some boring tutorials with frustration and irritation finally pay back with that sweet satisfaction and fulfillment. It's really worth to suffer a bit at the beginning to then earn the true prize later. Of course, when you get to this stage, the learning doesn't just stop. I'm learning a new thing or two every single render I do, and, probably, it will never really stop. Either if it's a thing with Blender exclusively, or something related to art in general. There's always something new to learn, and that's perfectly fine. If that wasn't the case, maybe doing art wouldn't be as fun as it is. So, that was a showcase of my Blender progress in the last half a year. I hope you have liked it and possibly got a bit inspired by it. It would be truly amazing. But remember one thing, I was going at my own pace and there are people who have learned all of that faster, but also slower, and you probably won't have the same exact experience as me either. So don't compare yourself to me or anyone else, and just keep going. In the end, it doesn't matter how much time it took, but how are the results. Thank you for watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and, of course, I'll see you in the next one.